And my dear Islam brothers, slowly what happens is you start sending picture messages, and then the shaitan, he will say to you, why don't you meet up with her? Why don't you see who this girl is? And why don't you meet up with her? Or probably if she needs the lift, then you can go and give her the lift. Why? Because she's your sister. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. All Muslim brothers, all Muslims are brothers and sisters. This is another thing. Next door neighbor, oh well, we don't have that parda between us because we are brothers and sisters. I treat her as that my own sister. That is another strike of the shaitan. No matter how you think of her, she is still a non-mahram. And at this point, the shaitan, he has his claws inside you. You are looking for opportunities to talk to her. You then start looking for opportunities to see them. At first from your car, and then from your bedroom, and then the end of the street, and then one day shaitan, he will say, why don't you just drive past her house? So can you see where that is leading to? You were there, minding your own business, trying to become pious, but then the shaitan, because he's after your iman, he's after our iman. He's not after wealth, he's not after anything, he's after our iman. And look at the way the shaitan is trying to take over us. He's making us think that what we are doing is good, what we are doing is right. But in actual fact, the shaitan, he's coming closer and closer to us. And then he's going to attack you, and at that time it will be too late. The shaitan, he puts into place his final plan. Look, she's your sister. A lot of brothers, I've talked to her and I've tried to convince them, she's not your sister. Sister means mahram, someone you cannot get married to. Your blood relation, that is your sister. You can talk to your sister on the phone, you can sit with your sister, you can be with your sister, you can sit in the car with your sister because she's your sister. She's your mahram, you can't get married to her. But any other girl, in the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jalla, He talks about the mahram and the non-mahram. حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمْ أُمَّهَاتُكُمْ وَبَنَاتُكُمْ وَأَخَوَاتُكُمْ وَعَمَّاتُكُمْ. Your khala's daughter. وَبَنَاتُ الْأَخِي وَبَنَاتُ الْأُخْتِ وَأُمَّهَاتُكُمُ اللَّاتِي وَأَرْضَعْنَكُمْ وَأَخَوَاتُكُمْ وَعَمَّاتُكُمْ. So all these, para number 5. Last verse of para number 5. I want you to all read that verse. It's one ayat, but it's talking about mahram and non-mahrams. Who you can talk to, who you don't have a parda with, and who you should have a parda, a veil in between. And you'll find out, my dear Islam brothers. And then at that time, the shaitan, he will whisper this into your mind. I haven't said anything wrong to her, and she hasn't said anything to me. What's wrong if I meet her? There is no harm. We are not stupid. I am married. And you'll be amazed how many people there are who are married and who are having affairs today. I'm not talking about the kuffar, because that is their culture. I'm talking about Islamic, those people who are Muslims. How many married men Muslims are having affairs with women? And then the shaitan, because that is the last attack of the shaitan. And then what happens, my dear Islam brothers? You know what happens at the end. You end up committing sins, or you either take that woman, girl, and run away from home. I know so many people, and probably if I say to you, put your hands up if you know someone who has done that. I know roughly about 5 or 6 people who have done that. Where you sit down with them and you say, what happened? And they tell you this is what happened. And at the end what happens? The whole family system breaks up. And some of them, they even married as well. They've left their wives now, they left their children just to go with someone else. And what was the main cause? That mobile phone. So this mobile phone, and everyone today, okay, you guys, you might be old enough to have a mobile phone, what about the children? How can you justify a 5, a 6, a 7 or 8-year-old boy and a girl having a mobile phone? How can you justify that? You might be a businessman, you need a mobile phone. Yeah, okay, you're old enough, you can understand, but what about a 10 and 11-year-old who hasn't even started high school? He's got a mobile phone, he's got free text messages, and you are the one as parents, you are the ones who are giving them that money to top up their phone. And then if something happens, and we say to ourselves, where did we go wrong? This is where you went wrong. You gave them, you just put your hands up to their wishes. A lot of people they say, oh, kya kare, bache sunte nahi hai. We have to. His friends got one, all of them got one. So my son, he wants a mobile phone as well. So मैंने उसको इसीलिए mobile phone खरीद कर दिया है. And then when things start going wrong, and you think to yourself, what happened? Well, the first thing is that you should not have given him a mobile phone. Why does he need a mobile phone? Tell him to justify that. Tell him to talk to you and make you understand that he does need a mobile phone. But प्यारे इस्लाम भाइयों, अक्सर कसूर अपना होता है ना. That's why we don't even talk about these kind of things. एक नौजवान इस्लाम भाई, his daddy came up to me and he goes, I don't know what's happened to my son. He starts changing. Suddenly he doesn't come and sit with us. He's always in his own room. He comes back home late, and then he found out he's hanging around with the wrong friends. He's got girlfriends. Why does he all start with them? He goes, I can imagine that whatever is happening, it is because I listen to all his wishes. मुझे मोबाइल फोन लेकर दें. I want so and so. ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए. Yeah, you can have everything. You can have anything. Don't worry, son. I'll get you that. I'll get you that. You want a computer? I'll get you that as well. And that is the second thing I want to talk about. And we don't, my dear Islam brothers, we can't make excuses. अब ये ना कहें कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं होगा. You know these things are happening out there. और दूसरी जो चीज मैं बात करना चाहता हूँ, the second thing, when I talked about a computer, पहले ये होता था, people used to watch films. It used to be a living room. I'm not justifying that. ऐसा नहीं है कि मूवी देखना, फिल्में देखना, ड्रामे देखना, all these on the telly, they are jails. It was haram, totally. लेकिन before the whole family, and if there was a scene, you just skip it, you just fast forward it. लेकिन how are you going to do this now? You've got a laptop, you've got a computer, and your son or your daughter has got a laptop or they have a computer in their own room. Before, on the television, they can only watch in front of you. You were with them, they could only watch. Now they can be locked up in their rooms and they can watch anything on the internet. And on the TV, they had 5 or 6 free stations. And then you became rich and then you brought a satellite and other things. And now they have hundreds of channels they can watch in their own room. And you can imagine, my dear Islam brothers, where will that child, that young boy, that young girl, how is she going to find modesty? Hey, if you click on that internet, you are bound to commit sin. Those people who surf the internet, you know that, and I know that as well. चलो हम तो सोचते हैं we doing something good, लेकिन them children, the 12, the 13-year-old, that internet, what are they seeing on that internet? Let me tell you what they see on the internet as well. But before that, I'm going to tell you a short story about a real story which was headline news in this country. I don't know, some people, you must have heard or read this story. This was a story, it came in the newspapers about a young girl who she disappeared from her house for 6 days. Her mother, I'm not going to read the whole story out, but her mother, she says that just like millions of other people who have broadband, who have internet in their homes, we had 2 children, one daughter and one young boy. We had our daughter, she was about 15 or 16-year-old. And you know how easy it is to go onto the website. And there are so many chat rooms today. You know, the Facebook, Bebo, all these chat rooms, and you see 12, 13-year-olds, they're all signed up to them chat rooms. And then some chat rooms that you've got to be over 18 years old. But because these young children are manipulated in these small chat rooms, they want to go into the bigger field and explore what is out there as well. And this young girl, she was only 14 or 15 years old, and she signed up to a chat room. And that chat room was for 18 years and above. They don't want to ask you questions, are you 18? There's only one tick you put, that is it. Are you 18 years old? Yes, I am. That is it. Then you can go inside. They don't ask you for your passport copy. They don't ask you for anything. So this 14-year-old girl, she went into that chat room. And on the other side, she said that she was 18 years old. And on the other side, she was talking to someone who was much older than her. And the mother, she said that we started seeing that change in our young girl. We started seeing that change. But we never thought of it. We thought she goes into her own room. After school ka sabak padti hai, she's just doing her homework. And she said that one day she left the house, we never saw her after that. And then when the investigation started with the police and everything, they said that this girl, she was chatting to a pedophile. She was chatting to a pedophile, and there's so many calls and emails which were exchanged That pedophile, he was showing himself that he was about 18 or 19 year old as well. And when he got caught, he was about 50 years old. He was a pedophile.